She was just a janitor on Flight 447. Nobody looked at her. Nobody knew her name. But when the plane started falling from the sky, she walked into that cockpit. And the moment she spoke into that radio, 2 F-16 fighter jets went completely silent. Because they recognized her voice. Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. It is dark everywhere. The only light comes from the instruments inside the cockpit. Green numbers. Red warnings. A small orange glow on the pilot's helmet visor. Then, a radio crackle. Command Center, Iron 1. We have an unresponsive commercial aircraft. Flight 447. Heavy Boeing 737. 212 people on board. Intercept immediately. The pilot does not ask questions. He does not say, why, or, are you sure? His hands are already moving. His engines are already pushing. Iron 1, copy. Scrambling now. You are sitting in seat 23A. Window seat. Right side of the plane. Outside your window, lightning. Not small lightning. Big, wide, white flashes that light up everything for 1 second and then leave you in darkness again. The sky is fighting itself. The plane is shaking. Hard. Not the normal small bumps of turbulence. This is different. This is the plane fighting something it cannot win. Oxygen masks have dropped from the ceiling. Yellow cups dangling on clear plastic tubes. Some passengers caught them. Some didn't. There is screaming from the back rows. A man in seat 14B is gripping his armrest so hard his knuckles are white. A teenage boy in row 19 has both hands flat against the window, staring at the lightning, not moving, not breathing. Bags have fallen from the overhead bins. A laptop. A plastic water bottle rolling down the aisle. Nobody picks it up. Flight attendant Diana is trying to walk forward against the shaking. She is holding the headrests one by one. Her voice over the speaker is calm. But her face is not calm. Diana, please stay in your seats. Seatbelts tight. We are working through some turbulence. The plane drops. Not a small drop. A real drop. 300 feet in 2 seconds. Everyone who was standing falls. The screaming gets louder. And then you see her. Row 22. Middle seat. Seat 22C. The worst seat on any airplane, no window, no aisle, squeezed between two strangers. She is the only person on this plane who is not moving. Her eyes are closed. Her hands are resting on her knees. Her lips are moving, just barely. She is saying something. Numbers maybe. Or a prayer. Or both. She is wearing old, worn clothes. A dark jacket with a small tear near the pocket. Cheap shoes. And clipped to her shirt, a laminated ID badge. It says, City Airport Cleaning Services. Employee ID, HM 2247. The elderly professor sitting next to her in seat 22B is staring at her. He cannot understand it. The whole world is falling apart at 38,000 feet, and this woman is sitting completely still. Professor, ma'am, are you okay? She opens her eyes. She looks at him for just a moment. Then she stands up. She had not touched a cockpit in 11 years. But her hands still remembered every switch. Every dial. Every prayer. Her name is Hannah Malik. 38 years old. She has worked at this airport for 6 years. Every morning she arrives at 4 a.m. when the terminal is still dark. She mops floors. She empties trash bins. She cleans the bathrooms that thousands of people use every day without thinking. She replaces the soap. She wipes the mirrors until they are perfect. Then she does it all again. Nobody notices when the floors are clean. They only notice when they are dirty. Nobody notices Hannah. Today she is mopping gate 32. Slow, steady circles. Her yellow wet floor sign stands near the entrance. A businessman in a dark blue suit walks through, right through her clean, wet floor, without slowing down. His expensive shoes leave perfect muddy footprints across everything she just cleaned. He does not apologize. He does not look at her. He does not see the sign. He does not see her. Hannah watches his footprints. Then she mops them away. She does not sigh. She does not look angry. Her face shows nothing. Her face has not shown much of anything for a long time. The gate agent scans boarding passes quickly. First class. Business class. Families with small children. Regular passengers in long rows. Hannah is last. She is always last. She hands over her boarding pass without saying anything. The gate agent takes it, scans it, hands it back, all without making eye contact. She boards the plane. Finds seat 22C. Sits down. Puts her small bag, just one small bag, under the seat in front of her. Diana, the flight attendant, hands everyone a small blanket as they get settled. She gives one to the man in 22A. She gives one to the professor in 22B. She almost walks past 22C. Then she stops, turns back, and holds one out to Hannah with a quick, slightly guilty smile. Hannah takes it. Nods. Says nothing. Diana moves on. Hannah looks out the window, through the narrow gap between the two strangers beside her. She can just see the runway lights. The baggage trucks. A ground crew worker in an orange vest waving signal paddles. The plane begins to move. The airport gets smaller. The runway lights blur past. Then, nothing but darkness and clouds. Hannah closes her eyes. She is 27 years old. Her hair is pulled back hard under a flight helmet. She is walking across a dark tarmac in full flight gear, a black flight suit, gloves, oxygen mask hanging at her side, helmet visor up. Four jets are lined up on the runway. Engines already running. The sound is incredible, a low, deep roar that you feel in your chest before you hear it with your ears. On the side of the lead jet, painted in small white stencil letters, Shadow 7. 3 other pilots walk beside her. They do not talk. There is nothing left to say. They have read the mission brief. They know what tonight is. Her commanding officer stops her before she climbs the ladder. Commanding officer, Shadow 7. 11 years. 41 missions. 0 losses. You are the best pilot I have ever seen fly anything. Tonight, you lead the 4-ship. Bring everyone home. She does not smile. She nods once. She gets in the jet. She takes off into the night. She flew classified missions for 11 years. Missions that were never in the news. Missions that never happened, officially. She flew over places that did not appear on any map she was allowed to keep. She was very, very good. Maybe the best. The other pilots called her Shadow 7 not just because of her call sign, but because when she flew, she was a ghost. Invisible. Untouchable. Gone before anyone knew she was there. That was the problem. She was too good. Too important. They kept sending her on harder and harder missions, deeper and darker places, asking her to make decisions that no human being should have to make alone at 30,000 feet in the dark. Then came the last mission. A building. A target. 3 seconds to decide. She made the decision. She did what she was trained to do. Lives were saved. The mission was completed. But the cost of that decision stayed with her. Every night. Every quiet moment. Every time she closed her eyes. She could not do it anymore. She could not go back into that jet and be Shadow 7 one more time. So she didn't. 1 week later, an aircraft crashed in a remote area of mountains. Pilot error, the report said. No body found. Shadow 7, killed in action. The military buried an empty box. Her family was told she was gone. Iron 1, her closest squadron mate, stood at the memorial with a folded flag and did not speak for 3 days afterward. And Hannah Malik, Shadow 7, the ghost, the best pilot anyone had ever seen, became nobody. A new name. A new city. A cleaning job at an airport. Invisible. Safe. Quiet. She thought if she could just disappear completely, the person she used to be would disappear too. She was wrong. Back on Flight 447. The turbulence gets worse. The plane shakes hard to the left. Then right. Then left again. Hannah's hand grips the armrest. But she is not scared. She is recognizing. She knows this feeling, the way air moves, the way a plane responds, the physics of wind and weight and altitude. She has flown through worse. Much worse. In jets that cost more than this entire airplane. In weather that would make this storm look gentle. Her breathing is slow. Her eyes are calm. She is not a janitor in row 22C right now. She just does not know it yet. She had spent 11 years becoming nobody. In the next 11 minutes, the whole world would know her name. Inside the cockpit, the captain collapsed 7 minutes ago. No warning. No chest pain. No time to hand over control. He was talking to First Officer Ryan, mid-sentence, and then he was gone. Slumped sideways, unconscious, against the window. Brain aneurysm. The kind that happens fast and without mercy. Ryan is 26 years old. He has 412 flight hours total. He has never been in command of a real emergency. He has trained for this in a simulator, twice, and both times he failed and had to restart. There is no restart button right now. He is on the radio with Atlanta. His voice is shaking so badly that the controller on the other end has asked him to repeat himself 3 times. Ryan, Atlanta, Captain is down, repeat, Captain is unconscious, I have the controls, I need help, the autopilot took a hit from lightning, I'm trying to. Atlanta Center, Flight 447, say again slowly. Is anyone else in the cockpit? Ryan, no. No. It's just me. I have 400 hours, please, I need vectors, the storm is right in front of us and the fuel. The fuel gauge shows low. They diverted twice already because of the storm. They burned through reserves they cannot get back. Through the closed cockpit door, Ryan's voice bleeds through in broken pieces. The passengers near the front can hear something is wrong. That knowledge spreads backward through the plane like a cold wave. Diana comes out of the front galley. Her face is pale under her makeup. She walks quickly down the aisle, holding headrests one by one. Diana, excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is very important. Is there anyone on this flight who is a pilot? Anyone who has experience flying aircraft? Please raise your hand. Silence. People look at each other. Some look away. A woman in row 8 grabs her husband's arm. The man in 14B stares at Diana like he cannot fully understand the question. Then, a man in business class raises his hand. Slowly. Unsure. Business class man, I have. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Pro Edition. I have maybe 200 hours on it. Diana stares at him. 2 seconds pass. She does not say anything. She does not need to. Then, from row 22, a quiet voice. Not loud. Not urgent. Just clear. Hannah, I'll go. Everyone turns. A woman in the middle seat. Worn clothes. A cleaning company ID badge still clipped to her shirt. No makeup. Hair pulled back plain. She looks like someone who just finished a long shift and sat down to rest. Someone in row 18 makes a sound, short, nervous, almost a laugh. The professor in 22B does not laugh. He has been watching her since the turbulence started. He is 71 years old and he has spent 40 years studying human behavior. He has watched thousands of people in stressful moments. He watches the way she stands up from her middle seat, no fumbling, no hesitation. He watches the way she steps into the aisle. The way she moves. Like someone who knows exactly where they are going and has already calculated every step. He opens his small leather notebook. He writes something. Diana looks at Hannah for one long second. Something in Hannah's face, something in the stillness of it, makes Diana step aside and knock on the cockpit door. Diana, Ryan. Someone is coming in. Let her in. Ryan, Diana, I can't, FAA regulations say. Diana, Ryan. Let her in. A pause. Then the lock clicks. Ryan turns in his seat and sees her. He opens his mouth to say no. She is already past him. Hannah sits in the captain's seat. The captain is still slumped to the right, unconscious. She does not look at him. She looks at the panel. Her eyes move across it fast: altitude, airspeed, heading, vertical speed, fuel state, engine status, navigation display. 11 years. And she reads it all in 3 seconds like reading a clock. Her hands move. Not fast and panicked. Fast and sure. Like a pianist sitting down at a piano they grew up playing. Ryan, ma'am, how do you, those controls are. Hannah, get on the radio. Tell Atlanta we are declaring emergency. Say, Flight 447 Heavy, declaring emergency, Captain incapacitated, we need immediate vectors. Say exactly that. Ryan stares at her. Hannah, now, Ryan. He picks up the radio. He says it exactly. Hannah takes the mic herself. Her voice is flat. Not robotic, flat. Like someone who has made 1,000 radio calls and knows that calm is not a feeling, it is a choice. Hannah, Atlanta Center, Flight 447 Heavy. Declaring emergency. Captain incapacitated. First officer is available but I have the aircraft. Request immediate vectors to nearest suitable airport. Fuel state is critical. Say intentions. Long silence from Atlanta. The veteran controller, 31 years in that seat, heard everything, sits forward slowly. Something is wrong with that voice. Not wrong bad. Wrong impossible. He has heard 10,000 emergency calls. Scared voices. Crying voices. Angry voices. Voices trying too hard to sound calm and failing. This voice is not trying. It just is. Atlanta Center, Flight 447. Please identify yourself. Who is speaking? Hannah pauses. Exactly 1 second. Hannah, just a passenger who knows how to fly. Can we move? Atlanta Center would later say, in 31 years of controlling aircraft, they had never heard a voice that calm. That certain. That familiar. The storm is not getting better. It is getting worse. A massive thunderstorm cell sits directly in front of Flight 447 like a wall. Dark, churning clouds from the ground all the way up to 50,000 feet. Lightning jumping inside them, not outside, inside, like something alive and angry, trapped in those clouds and trying to get out. Hannah is looking at the weather radar. The red and purple patches on the screen. She is calculating. There is a path, narrow, low, bumpy, but a path. Then the lightning finds them, Crack. A direct hit. Not a near miss. The plane shudders like something has grabbed it from the outside and shaken it. Every screen in the cockpit flickers. The autopilot system, already damaged, gives one loud, flat beep and goes completely dark. The plane banks hard. 30 degrees to the left. People in the cabin slide against their armrests. Bags fall. A child screams, one sharp, terrified sound. Ryan, oh God, the autopilot, it's gone. Hannah is already correcting. Both hands on the yoke. She does not fight the plane. She talks to it, smooth inputs, read the response, smooth input again. 5 seconds. The plane levels. Ryan, how did you do that so fast? Hannah, big storm cell at 11 o'clock. I'm going under it. It will be rough for 2 minutes. After that, smooth. Ryan, how do you know? Hannah, because I have seen this before. Hold on. She pushes the nose down slightly. The plane descends. The turbulence gets worse for exactly 90 seconds, passengers gripping everything, Diana flat against the galley wall, and then, like walking through a curtain, it stops. Smooth air. Steady engines. Dark sky ahead. Ryan breathes. It sounds like he has not breathed in 4 minutes. They appear from the darkness like gray ghosts. One on each side of Flight 447. Close enough that passengers with window seats can see the cockpits. Can see the pilots inside those cockpits. Can see them looking back. In row 17, a young boy presses his nose against the window. Boy, Mom. There are fighter jets next to us. His mother puts her arm around him and does not look at the window. Ryan sees them in his side window. His face goes white. Ryan, oh no. Oh no, the military, why are there? Hannah sees them. She does not look surprised. She does not look scared. Her right hand moves to the radio, and switches to the military guard frequency. Fast. Automatic. Without hesitating. Ryan, how did you know that frequency? That's a classified. She does not answer. Iron 1, Flight 447. This is Iron 1, U.S. Air Force. We have visual on your aircraft. Please state your situation. Hannah keys the mic. Her voice, on this frequency, sounds slightly different. Not more scared. More precise. Military precise. Hannah, Iron 1, Flight 447. 2 souls incapacitated in cockpit. 180 passengers plus crew. Fuel state critical, approximately 12 minutes remaining. Autopilot offline. I am requesting straight-in approach to nearest suitable field. Request you lead me in. Complete silence on the military frequency. In the F-16, Iron 1's co-pilot glances over. Iron 1 CO pilot, Iron 1. Copy. What are your orders? Iron 1 does not respond. His hands are very still on the controls. He is staring straight ahead at the big belly of Flight 447 below him. He knows that voice. Not from recent memory. From a place much deeper than recent memory. He knows it the way you know the voice of someone you lost, someone you never expected to hear again, the way it hits you in the stomach before your brain has even finished processing. That cadence. That exact military phrasing. Souls. Fuel state. Straight in. Let me in. He has heard those exact words. In that exact order. From that exact voice. 11 years ago. On missions that officially never happened. Shadow 7. His wingmate. His friend. The best pilot he ever flew with. The one they told him did not come home. The one whose memorial he attended. Whose empty casket he helped carry. whose folded flag he held with both hands. Iron One's co-pilot, Iron One. I need your orders, sir. Iron One still cannot speak. He raises one hand, just one, and makes a small gesture. Hold. Wait. And then, very carefully, he keys the radio. Iron One, Flight 447. Please confirm your call sign. Inside the cabin, the professor has quietly moved forward and is standing near the cockpit door. He does not knock. He just listens. He is not sure why. He just knows something important is happening on the other side of this door. He writes in his notebook without looking down at it. In seat 23A, the little girl has stopped crying. She is looking at the cockpit door with wide, dark eyes. The whole plane has gone quiet. Even the engines seem to go quiet. Even the air. Inside the cockpit, Ryan is watching Hannah. He does not know what is happening. But he can see it in her face, something has shifted. Some door inside her has been knocked on. Something she locked away a long time ago is right on the other side. Hannah closes her eyes. 1 full second. Maybe 2. 11 years. Mops and empty terminals and people looking right through her. 11 years of becoming nobody. 11 years of paying for a decision she made in 3 seconds in the dark above a mountain range. She exhales. She opens her eyes. She keys the mic. Hannah, Shadow 7. Iron One's co-pilot watches his commander. He watches the man's hands tighten on the controls. Then loosen. Then tighten again. Iron One reaches up. Turns off his co-pilot's headset connection, just for one moment. Just so he can say the next 3 words to himself, alone. She's alive. Then he turns it back on. He keys the radio. His voice is not steady. But it is there. Iron One, Shadow 7. I have your wing. I am not leaving you. Not this time. Iron One had attended her funeral. He had folded the flag. He had never stopped blaming himself for not saving her. And now, her voice was in his headset. At 38,000 feet. Asking him to bring her home. A red light blinks on. Steady. Not flashing, solid red. Fuel low. Ryan, how much time? Hannah, 12 minutes. Maybe 11 now. Ryan, Atlanta is 18 minutes away. Hannah, I know. She pulls up the navigation display. There, a small regional airport. Hartsfield-Colville Regional. Closer. Much closer. She zooms in on the runway data. 6,200 feet of runway. A Boeing 737 needs at least 7,000 feet to land safely at normal weight. Longer if anything goes wrong. Iron One's voice comes through. Iron One, Shadow 7. I am looking at Hartsfield-Colville. That runway is 6,200 feet. You are in a loaded 737. That is not enough runway. Hannah, I know. Iron One, Shadow 7. Hannah, I know. I am doing it anyway. There is no other choice. Start the approach. Silence on the radio. 3 seconds. Iron One, Roger, Shadow 7. Follow me down. I've got you. She had 12 minutes of fuel and a runway that was too short. She had 180 people who had no idea how bad it was. She had a 26-year-old co-pilot counting backwards from 10. And she had Iron One on her wing. That would have to be enough. Diana's voice comes over the cabin speaker. She has made a decision. If that woman in the cockpit can be calm, then she can be calm too. Diana, ladies and gentlemen. We are making an emergency landing at a smaller airport very close by. Please tighten your seatbelts as much as possible. Put away any items in your lap. Brace position on my signal. We have a very experienced pilot at the controls. We will be on the ground very soon. She turns off the speaker. She leans against the galley wall. She breathes. In row 4, a woman grabs the hand of the stranger next to her. He lets her. In row 11, a man takes out his phone. Types quickly. Sends something. Puts the phone away. Folds his hands. In row 23A, the little girl turns to her mother. Little girl, the lady is going to save us, right? Her mother is crying. She wipes her face fast so her daughter cannot see. She pulls her daughter close. Mother, yes, baby. She is. The professor in 22B has moved back to his seat. He is writing fast. 3 pages now. His handwriting is getting smaller. He is running out of room. Iron 1's F-16 is slightly ahead and to the left. Leading the way down. His navigation lights blink steady, green on the right wing, red on the left. A guide in the darkness. Iron 1, Shadow 7. Runway will be at your 12 o'clock in 4 minutes. Winds are 12 knots, mostly right crosswind. Gear down at 1,500. You will see the runway threshold at 800 feet. It is going to look short. Hana, it is short. Iron 1, it is not that short. Ryan makes a sound. Half laugh, half sob. The first almost normal sound he has made in 40 minutes. He immediately covers his mouth. Hannah does not smile. But something in her face shifts, just slightly. The airport is visible below. A cluster of lights in the darkness. Smaller than anything they normally land at. A few terminal buildings. A fire station on the edge of the field. Emergency vehicles already moving into position, their lights flashing red and blue. They know something is coming. Ryan, they already have emergency vehicles out there. Hana, they always do. It is okay. Ryan, have you done this before? An emergency landing? Pause. Hana, something like this. Yes. Ryan, in a commercial plane. Hana, something harder. Ryan stares at her. Ryan, who are you? She does not answer. She is watching the altitude. Hannah reaches down. The landing gear handle. She pulls it. Thunk. 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 3 sounds, one after the other, as the wheels drop and lock into place. The cabin shakes with each one. A green light on the panel. Gear down and locked. Iron 1, gear confirmed. Looking good, Shadow 7. You are on profile. Keep it coming. Ryan is gripping his own knees. He starts counting under his breath. 1. 2. 3. He doesn't know why. He just needs something to count. The runway is ahead and below. Lit up in 2 straight lines of white lights with red lights at the far end. It looks impossibly small from here. Like a matchstick floating in the dark. Ryan sees it. Ryan, oh God. Hana, Ryan. Look at me. He tears his eyes off the windshield and looks at her. Her eyes. Dark brown. Completely steady. No fear. Not pretending to have no fear, actually having no fear. Because she has been here before. Different aircraft, different sky, same feeling. Hana, after we touch down, I need you to count to 10 for me out loud. Okay. Count to 10 and trust me. Ryan, okay. Okay, yeah. Hana, good. He nods. He starts counting again. 5. 6. 7. Too early, but he cannot stop himself. They cross the airport fence. The runway lights are rushing past below them. Everything in the cockpit is noise and motion. And then, a drop. Wind shear. The aircraft falls 60 feet in less than 2 seconds. The floor comes up. The ceiling comes down. In the cabin, 3 people hit their heads on the seat in front of them. A woman's coffee cup, empty but still in her hand, hits the overhead compartment. The screaming is the loudest it has been since the flight began. Iron 1, Shadow 7, pull. She is already pulling. But it is too much. The nose comes up, and now the left wing is dropping. Dropping toward the runway surface that is rushing up at them. 300 feet. Left wing dropping. 200 feet. The runway lights are not below them anymore, they are beside them. To the left. Too close. 100 feet. Ryan stops counting. He grabs the edge of his seat. Iron 1, watching from above and behind, Shadow 7. 50 feet. Hannah's hands move. Not a big input. Small. Precise. A conversation with the aircraft, not a fight. 30 feet. The wing comes up. 20 feet. Level. 10 feet. The main wheels kiss the runway. Smooth. Clean. Like landing on glass. Then, reverse thrust. The engines roar backwards, fighting the plane's speed. Brakes, hard. The whole aircraft shakes and shudders. The runway is rushing past the windows at 150 miles per hour, then 130, then 100. Ryan starts counting. Ryan, 1, 2, 3, 4. The end of the runway is visible ahead. The red lights. A grassy area beyond them. Ryan, 5, 6. Slower. The brakes screaming. Ryan, 7, 8. Slower. Almost. Ryan, 9. 10. The plane stops. Complete silence. Total. Absolute. 1 full second. 2. 3. Hannah looks out the windshield. The end of the runway is exactly 190 feet ahead. It starts in row 23A. 2 small hands, a little girl, begin clapping. Just her. Small, happy, fierce claps. Then the man in row 12. Then the woman who was praying in row 7. Then all at once, the entire cabin. Clapping, crying, laughing, shouting. A man near the back makes a sound that is not a word, just pure relief turned into sound. An elderly woman puts both hands over her face and shakes. 2 strangers who do not know each other are hugging. Diana, standing at the front, slides slowly down the cockpit door until she is sitting on the floor. She puts her face in her hands. Her shoulders shake once. Twice. Then she laughs, and cries at the same time. The professor closes his notebook. He looks at the cover for a moment. Then he opens it one more time and writes a single line on the last remaining space. We do not see what it says. Not yet. Ryan is bent forward. His face is in his hands. He is crying and he is not hiding it. Hannah sits completely still. Hands still on the controls. Like she is not sure the Earth is real yet. Like she needs to feel the controls in her hands for just a moment longer. Outside the windshield, Iron 1's F-16 makes one final slow, low pass directly over the runway. Just one. The gray jet catches the runway lights as it passes, a flash of metal and power, and then it banks away and disappears into the sky. Hannah watches it go. One tear runs down her face. Just one. She does not wipe it. She is quiet for a long time. Then she whispers. To nobody. To herself. To the 27-year-old woman in the flight suit who she buried 11 years ago. I ran away from who I was. I thought that made me nobody. But you cannot run from your hands. You cannot run from what they know. You cannot make yourself invisible forever. Not when people need what you have. The emergency vehicles are everywhere. Fire trucks. Ambulances. Police cars. Their lights turn everything red and blue and red and blue. Paramedics in bright vests run toward the plane with stretchers. People in yellow security vests wave the emergency vehicles into position. The plane stairs are brought out. The door opens. Passengers come down the stairs one by one. Some quickly. Some slowly. Some stop on the stairs and just stand there for a moment, looking at the ground. The real, solid ground. Needing to see it. The man who grabbed the stranger's hand in row 4 comes down the stairs still holding her hand. They walk away together without saying anything. The little girl from 23A runs to the bottom of the stairs and spins in a circle with her arms out. Her mother comes down behind her and drops to her knees on the tarmac and pulls her daughter close. Diana sits at the bottom of the stairs for 10 minutes. She watches everyone come out. She counts them. Old habit. When the last one passes her, she stands up, smooths her uniform jacket, and walks toward the terminal. One paramedic offers her a blanket. She takes it. Wraps it around herself. Walks. Iron 1 landed his F-16 on the far end of the same runway. He climbed out of the cockpit without speaking to anyone. He pulled off his helmet. He walked, then jogged, toward the commercial aircraft. Hannah comes down the stairs last. She always boards last. She always leaves last. She sees him from across the tarmac. 50 feet away. Still in his flight suit. Holding his helmet at his side. Older than she remembers. Lines around his eyes that were not there before. She stops at the bottom of the stairs. He stops walking. 50 feet of tarmac between them. Neither moves for a long moment. The emergency lights wash over them both, red, blue, red, blue. He walks to her slowly. Like he is not quite sure she will still be there when he arrives. Like he has dreamed this too many times and is afraid this is another one. He stops 3 feet away. He looks at her face. He checks, checking if she is real. Iron 1, we buried an empty box. His voice is steady. Barely. Hannah, I know. I am sorry. He shakes his head once. Hard. Iron 1, don't. Don't be sorry. Just, don't disappear again. That's all. Hannah is quiet. She looks past him at the plane. At the emergency vehicles. At the little girl, who has found a spot near a fence by the terminal and is waving at her, big, whole arm waves, the way only children wave. Hannah raises her hand. She waves back. Once. Small. But real. Hannah, I don't think I can anymore. News vans are arriving at the airport perimeter. Reporters with cameras and microphones. A helicopter somewhere above with a searchlight. The story is already going out, emergency landing, short runway, packed flight, no casualties. But nobody knows who landed the plane. A young reporter spots the professor standing quietly at the edge of everything. He is 71 years old with a small leather notebook in his hands and the look of someone who has just witnessed something he will spend the rest of his life writing about. Reporter, sir, excuse me. Do you know what happened? Was it the crew? Who landed this plane? The professor looks at the reporter. He looks at the camera. He opens his notebook to the very last page. He holds it up so the camera can see. In small, careful handwriting, surrounded by 3 pages of detailed notes, the last line reads. The janitor did. He closes the notebook. He puts it in his jacket pocket. He walks toward the terminal without another word. The reporter stares after him. The camera is still rolling. By morning, those 3 words are everywhere. Think about the people you walked past today. The person mopping the floor at the airport at 4 a.m. The one who cleaned your gate before you arrived so it would be ready for you. The one who wiped your armrest and nobody thanked. You did not look at them. Most of us don't. We look through them. Because a uniform or a mop or a cleaning badge tells our brain, not important. Not worth seeing. Nobody. But every single person you walk past has a life you cannot see. A history. A story. A set of hands that know things that their job will never ask them to do. Hannah Malik spent 11 years becoming invisible. She arrived early and stayed late. She cleaned and mopped and wiped and emptied and nobody ever asked her who she had been before. Nobody ever looked long enough to wonder. She wanted it that way. She thought if she could disappear completely, if she could stay small and quiet and still long enough, the person she used to be would eventually stop existing. She was wrong. You cannot hide what your hands know. You cannot make yourself nobody when everything about you, every instinct, every reflex, every decision drilled into you over years, says otherwise. You can change your name. You can change your city. You can change your clothes and your job and your whole life. But your hands remember. At 38,000 feet, with 180 lives depending on her, Hannah Malik did not remember how to fly. She had never forgotten. She spent 11 years becoming invisible. Mopping floors. Carrying mops. Being nobody. But on Flight 447. At 38,000 feet. With 180 lives in her hands. She remembered something no amount of hiding could erase. She was Shadow 7. She had always been Shadow 7. And Shadow 7 never loses anyone.